tonight. But his 6-year-old son, Junior, was sick. Keeping the sock carousel out of the goat's reach, she stretched to open the gate. One of the kids, a brown and white one her twin called Puddle, butted her, trying to get her attention. Annie looked at the little goat.
"If you weren't so cute, you'd be annoying, ain't so?"
"Do they talk to you when you talk to them?" asked a voice far deeper than her own. In amazement, she looked up and up and up. Caleb Hartz was almost a foot taller than she was. Beneath his black, broad-brimmed hat, his blonde hair fell into eyes the color of early summer grass. He had a ready smile and an easy, contagious enthusiasm. And he was the man Leanna had her eye on. Her sister hadn't said anything about being attracted to him, but Annie couldn't help noticing how tongue-tied Leanna was when he was nearby. He hadn't seemed to notice, and maybe Annie would have missed her sister's reactions if Annie didn't find herself a bit giddy when Caleb spoke to her. Before Caleb's sister, Miriam, had mentioned that Leanna seemed intrigued by her brother, Annie had been thinking... No, it didn't matter. If Leanna had set her heart on him, Annie should remind him how wunderbar her sister was. She'd do anything to have her sister happy again.
"Good Nachmittag,"
Annie said as she came out of the pen, being careful no goat slipped past her. "Is it still afternoon?" He glanced toward the western horizon, where the sun touched the mountain tops.
"Barely,"
she laughed.
"I've been catching up with chores before working on supper. Would you like to eat with us this evening?"
"Denke, but no." Caleb clasped his hands behind him. Annie was puzzled. Why was he uncomfortable? Usually he chatted with everyone. While he traveled from church district to church district in several states, he'd met with each of the families now living in Harmony Creek Hollow and convinced them to join him in the new community in northern New York.
"What can we do for you?"
she asked when he didn't add anything else. "I wanted to talk to you about a project I'm getting started on." Curiosity distracted her from how the icy wind sliced through her shawl, coat, and bonnet.
"What project?"
"I'm opening a bakery."
"You are?"
She couldn't keep the surprise out of her voice. A bakery? Amish men, as a rule, didn't spend much time in the kitchen, other than to eat. Their focus was on learning farm skills or being apprenticed to a trade. "Yeah," he said, then grimaced at another blast of frigid air. His coat was closed to the collar, where a scarf was edged with frost from his breath. "I stopped by to see if you'd be interested in working for me. The bakery will be out on the main road, south of the turnoff for Harmony Creek Hollow." She set the sock carousel on a barrel.
"You want to hire me? To work in your bakery?"
"I've had some success selling bread and baked goods at the farmer's market in Salem. Having a shop will allow me to sell year-round, but I can't be there every day and do my work at the farm." He shivered again, and she guessed he was eager for a quick answer so he could return to his buggy. "Miriam told me you'd do a good job for me." His sister, Miriam, was one of Annie's best friends, a member of what they jokingly called the Harmony Creek Spinsters Club. Miriam hadn't mentioned anything about Caleb starting a business.
"It sounds intriguing,"
Annie said.
"What would you expect me to do?"
"Tend the shop and handle customers. There would be some light cleaning."
"Will you expect me to do any baking? I'd want several days' warning if you're going to want me to do that."
He frowned, surprising her. It had been a reasonable request, as she'd have to rearrange her household obligations around any extra baking. Asking Leanna would be silly. Her sister could burn air, and things that were supposed to be soft came out crunchy, and vice versa. Nobody could quilt as beautifully as her twin, but the simplest tasks in the kitchen seemed to stump her. "You've got a lot of questions," he said.
"Don't ask too many questions. Don't make suggestions."
She doubted Caleb would treat her as her former boyfriend had, deriding her ideas until he found one he liked so much.